Good morning, everyone. We want to welcome our parents of grade 9 students to AMHS. These are different times, and typically we've done this presentation live on grade 9 day, but as we all know, we're living in different times these days, and we knew that we wanted to do something like this to welcome our parent community to Alex Mack, and we also want to do that safely, so we're choosing to do it through a live stream. So again, welcome everyone. I just want to take a few moments to introduce our administrative team. Below you'll see it's Miss Pummel, who's our principal, Miss Pretty, our vice principal, and me, Mr. Ellenis, the other vice principal. And now a few words from our principal, Miss Pummel.
Good morning, parents. I am proud and privileged to be the principal of Alexander Mackenzie High School. While this might not be the introduction to high school that you had envisioned for your child, we continue to be committed to providing a rich, safe, inclusive, and engaging learning environment for your children. AMHS is a diverse and dynamic school with innovative, caring, and dedicated staff. Our students, your children, are our future leaders, and we can't wait to see them grow and shine while they're with us at AMHS. Being a parent or guardian of a high school child can bring a range of feelings and emotions. I know this as I too am a parent of a grade 9 student. High school is a time of discovery, challenge, exploration, and independence. Our children are now young adults. The poem Roots and Wings by Dennis Waitley captures the journey to young adulthood that your children are on. If I had 2 wishes, I know what they would be. I'd wish for roots to cling to and wings to set me free. Roots of inner values like wings within a tree, and wings of independence to seek my destiny. Roots to hold forever to keep me safe and strong, to let me know you love me when I've done something wrong, to show me by example and help me learn to choose, to take those actions every day to win instead of lose. Just be there when I need you to tell me it's all right, to face my fear of falling when I test my wings in flight. Don't make my life too easy, it's better if I try, and fail to get back up myself so I can learn to fly. If I had 2 wishes and they were all I had, and they could just be granted by my mom and my dad, I wouldn't ask for money or any store-bought things. The greatest gifts I'd ask for are simply roots and wings. Today you will be introduced to a number of staff who are available to support your child. In addition to your child's classroom teachers, please don't hesitate to connect with any one of us if you have questions or concerns. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for those words, Ms. Pummel. My name's Mrs. Pretty. I'm one of the vice principals at Alexander Mackenzie, and I'm so happy to have the opportunity to speak with you here today. Right now, we're going to discuss some of the COVID-19 updates. So first, we'd like to talk about visitors to Alexander Mackenzie High School. We are always here to work with our parents, our guardians, community members, and students. But in order to help reduce the spread of COVID-19, visitors are not permitted into the school without a prearranged appointment at this time. So please do contact the school, and staff are here and very willing to help you, and an appointment can be made. What you will see on every entrance to Alexander Mackenzie is a COVID-19 self-assessment. This has also been sent out in the Parent Guardian Bulletin that goes out weekly. And we ask that students, as well as any visitors to the school, take time to go through the self-assessment to ensure that they do not have any COVID-19 symptoms before coming into the building. Along with the COVID-19 self-assessment, which is posted on our doors and available on York Region Public Health's website, we will also be sending parents and guardians 2 additional documents this Friday in our Parent Guardian Bulletin. These documents come from York Region Public Health, and they are called decision trees. And this is to assist you in determining if your child is able to come to school or if they may need to remain at home or seek medical attention. The middle document is called Preventing COVID-19 Exposures in School. The last document says, should my child attend school? So this is a very challenging time for everyone, and York Region Public Health has worked hard with York Region District School Board to put some things in place that help to guide parents in making these decisions. So you'll start at the top of the decision tree and answer that question based on your own child, and then you'll move through the decision tree, either answering yes or no, and the decision tree will help you get to a place of what your next steps are. You're always able to contact us at Alexander Mackenzie should you have questions, or to contact Public Health directly.
Thank you, Ms. Pretty. So we would like to take a few moments just to kind of review some some AMHS info. A lot of information, as you'll already know, comes through our weekly parent bulletin, which is emailed on Fridays. And from time to time throughout the week, you may get other notifications through an email from Alexander Mackenzie High School. We do realize that a lot of information is coming very quickly, and we do apologize for the volume of emails, but because the information is important, we choose to communicate it that way. Should you not be receiving those emails, please notify the school, and we'll look into it to see if we can correct the issue. I would also suggest that you check your junk folders to see if it's gone in there. Next slide, Ms. Pretty. So some of the support services that we offer, the individuals who head those support services, we have Mr. Ao Young, who is our head of ESL, Mr. Belch and Ms. Pambis, who are our student success teachers. Ms. Clark leads the Arts Mackenzie program. Ms. Raya is our literacy lead teacher and also our head librarian. Ms. Rehani is our head of guidance, our interim head of guidance, and also our IB coordinator. And we have Mr. Shep, who is our head of special education, and Ms. Bredden, who is our assistant head of special education. Should any of these services or any of these individuals connect with you, or please feel free to connect with those people should those services be tied to your child. So again, just to review the school schedule, which I know at times can be confusing. It's actually taken us quite some time ourselves to get adjusted to it, and the same thing with our students. So what we have is we have block 1, which is the in-person face-to-face session. And that's the one that is cohorted and comes every other day. It starts at 8:30 and finishes at 11. And we have a dismissal from between 11 to 11:15 where students leave. From 11 to 12:30, this is when students obviously exit the building, they travel home, have their lunch. And then at 12:30, from 12:30 to 1:20, they engage in block 2, which is their period 2 class online. Then from 1:20 to 2:10 is the block 3 online, which is the period D on their timetable, and block 4 online from 2:10 to 3 o'clock, and that is the period E on their timetable. So this is the way our semester rotation's working. Currently, we are in rotation number 2, which is period 2, or the block 2 has now come into face-to-face. And this is kind of the calendar or how it's going to operate. So rotation 1 is from September 14th to 25th, which you just finished. Period 1, period 2, period 4, period 5. second rotation, which we are currently in, started September 28th and will run from October 9th. Period 2, then period 1, 4, and 5. And then the third rotation's coming up. And what you'll notice about the third rotation is that you need to be mindful of how the block 2 will be the period 5, and that's to accommodate for other programming, specifically co-op in the board. So what we will be doing is, again, sending out this information. We're going to be making students aware through announcements when the rotations will begin, but we will also be sending communication through the parent bulletin so that parents are aware of which rotation we're entering and, again, how that rotation is going to work. Should you have any questions about the schedule, we do encourage you to reach out to the school, and so we would be happy to clarify any questions you may have. Well, so with respect to the cohorts, right now we've already cohorted periods 1 and 2. We are now in the process of cohorting periods 4 and 5, which is blocks 3 and 4 in the adaptive model rotation schedule. Okay, students have already been notified through announcements that we've begun the process. We've also sent out communication through the parent bulletin that the process has started, and we will notify parents and students when the process is complete. We are getting a lot of requests for cohort changes. We will do our best to accommodate what we can. And we do apologize in cases where we cannot. However, priority is given for families with siblings. So that's the first priority. And then we try to accommodate where possible anything else. Please also note that if your child or your student would have started in cohort A for period 1, this doesn't mean that cohort A will be, the cohort A will be for periods 2, 4, and 5. However, the approach to cohorting is always done the same. We try to have 2 class lists with students alphas A to Z, which allows students to interact with one another, and we're not excluding one half of the cohort just based on the alpha. So we do keep making notes on those cohort requests for siblings. And when we finish the bulk cohorting, then guidance does some fine tuning to make those adjustments for the cohorting. With respect to cohorts, we do encourage students to check Teach Assist in the mornings. So before cohort 3 the rotation 3 begins, we would encourage students to check Teach Assist the morning of to make sure that to see if it's cohort A or cohort B. And again, cohort A, it's basically section numbers 1 to 50, and cohort B sections are 51 to 99.
Thank you, Mr. Ellenis. Should you need to contact the school, we wanted to make sure that everyone has access to the school email address, which is alexander.mackenzie.hs@yrdsb.ca, or feel free to call the school directly at our school phone number. Things to email the general mailbox about might include your child not being able to attend school. You can notify us that way. You can also contact that email address if you're not sure who in the school you need to be reaching out to, and then we can help redirect your question to the appropriate person. So the next few slides, we'd like to share some school-specific information with you and discuss with you some of the things that we have been sharing with your child or children. So our school schedule begins at 8:30 a.m. We're asking students as much as possible not to arrive earlier than 8:15 so that we don't have too many people in the halls. Our teachers are available to open classrooms beginning at 8:15, and students are able to enter classrooms at that time. Our late policy this year, we're asking students to proceed directly to their classroom as opposed to going to the office to sign in. When students go to their classroom teacher will then contact the main office to let us know that the student has been late and attendance is adjusted accordingly. So some attendance reminders that we've given to our students: be here every other day for your face-to-face classes. And in the event that a student is not able to attend for their face-to-face classes, parents or guardians, please notify the school either by email or by contacting the school office directly to let us know. There is lots of research to show that students who attend their classes regularly are going to be successful. Students then have access, direct access to all course material, as well as the opportunity to speak with teachers to clarify any information. What we do communicate to our students and to our families is that if a student needs to be away, please have them connect with their class teacher to come up with a plan for catching up on any missed work. So there are certainly many reasons why a student might be away, and we're here to support that student in getting caught up. And what we do encourage as part of the plan to help our students be successful is using an electronic or paper agenda. Might be on a student's phone, for instance, where they're keeping track of any homework, assignments, tests, upcoming events, or various school activities, so that students are able to see what they have coming up and what they might need to prepare for to help them manage their time appropriately. You are also able to read about our school expectations in the Alexander Mackenzie High School Handbook, which will be posted on our school website. We encourage all of our students to make healthy choices. So this may be starting the day off with breakfast. Some students may prefer not to eat right away, but making sure that they have eaten something so they're prepared to learn. Exercising regularly, getting outside to get some fresh air. Also, completing the COVID-19 self-assessment each day that was discussed earlier. Washing hands frequently. Each classroom is equipped with a hand sanitizing station, as well as wipes that can be used to clean desks, etc. Wearing a mask while inside the school, and also getting plenty of sleep and coming prepared to learn. So students may bring electronic devices and money and other valuables with them. We do encourage as much as possible that those things be left at home or kept in a safe location. Please note that lockers are not available for use at this time. So whatever a student is bringing with them would be kept in their backpack. At Alexander Mackenzie High School, we are wireless, so students have the opportunity to get online through their phones or other electronic devices that they may have. Please note that we do welcome technology that helps with student learning into the classroom, but that this is at the teacher's discretion. And our students have just engaged in the Caring and Safe Schools presentation, where they've learned a little bit more about using social media appropriately. And we encourage those conversations to continue at home, reminding students that whatever is posted online is there forever, and asking students to be very conscious about what they are putting out into the digital world. All of our teachers also speak with students about academic honesty. Academic honesty includes things like plagiarism and cheating. These things are not acceptable. We do have a process in place for documenting any plagiarism and for helping to support students through this situation, and helping to educate students on plagiarism and why it does have a negative impact. We do have many resources for library learning commons, as well as through all of our teachers, that can help to educate students more on the issue of plagiarism. So if there is plagiarism or cheating that happens, what you can expect as a parent or guardian is a call home, a possible mark of 0, repeating of the assignment, or possible suspension. Now, certainly we work with a model of progressive discipline, so we do consider if this is the first time this has happened, what is the context around this particular situation?
So over the last few days, so yesterday and today, students in their face-to-face class, we pre-recorded a presentation for caring and safe schools to review some of the policies in the board and also in the school. Most of the information that was covered can also be found in the guide to the school year. And you should have received an email from the board regarding school startup forms where part of the caring and safe schools messaging was in there. So again, you can ask your student or your child about those presentations and the specifics. If you wish to review some of those, can be found on the guide to the school year on our board website under the caring and safe schools policy. Some of the things we did cover, again, given the times that we're in, the shift to online, we've really reinforced messaging around online safety. We reviewed around forms of bias, prejudice, and hate, and how those types of acts are not tolerated, not only just inside, but specifically in the board and in the school. We talked about smoking and vaping, that those are not to be done at all, because number one, they're not healthy, and number two, that they do come with consequences should students be caught smoking or vaping on school property. We also talked about bullying and some of the consequences that come along for repeated acts of bullying. So we covered the definition of what bullying is, but also around consequences for students should bullying continue. And again, progressive discipline is how we do approach every situation. We take every situation, we conduct our investigations, we look at past history, get to know the situation, the student. Every situation is different. And based on each offense, continued offense, that's when, consequences become greater. So we covered exactly what that looks like. And we also covered the report it feature on the Wired ESB website. And what this is it is a function that we encourage students, and we reinforce this in the presentation, but we encourage students to reach out to a caring adult, whether it be a guidance counselor, a teacher, administrator, even starting with the parent as well. And then, they can come and speak to any of these caring adults in the school. However, should they wish to remain anonymous or don't feel comfortable doing so, you can visit the board website, and on the main page at the bottom, you'll notice that there's a report it button. The arrow on the screen here is directing you to the last link, report it. That is where a student can report things anonymously to the board. And what ends up happening is we are notified as the school, if it is our student, we start conducting our investigation. And again, they remain anonymous. So maybe if you're talking to your child and they wish to report something, you can do it with them. Or again, we do encourage you to hopefully feel comfortable enough to reach out to the school. And when we do conduct our investigations, we do not put students, so when a student discloses something, if we have to investigate it, we do not put that student in harm's way. Those do remain confidential. However, some students may feel that the information being shared may only have come from them, and in which case they don't feel comfortable. So again, we do encourage that first line of contact to be a caring adult in the school, but if not, to use that reported feature. So just a reminder from Mackenzie Health, we have a partnership with Mackenzie Health. However, the partnership, because of COVID, has posed some challenges, namely the fact that, people do go to the hospital because they are sick. So to help reduce the spread of COVID-19, Mackenzie Health is currently only allowing patients and essential visitors to enter the hospital until further notice. And I'm sure that we can all appreciate why that is. So this is a reminder that students will not be able to access food services at Mackenzie Health.
Thank you. We're now going to spend some time talking about the student life at Alexander Mackenzie and some of the extracurricular activities that are available here. So while our clubs and teams are currently on hold, and we will be providing more information soon, we would like parents and guardians and students, particularly our grade 9 students, to know that there are a variety of activities for students to get involved with. So these include things like student and president's councils, a variety of program-based councils, like our athletic, arts, IB councils, as well as sports teams, and a huge number of clubs that are available. So we will be providing more information about how students can get involved with those this year. That may look a little different this year than usual, but also that our students are aware going forward that they have opportunity to get involved. So more information on that will be sent out shortly. I'm now going to pass it over to Ms. Clark to talk to us about Student Council.
Thank you so much. So I have the pleasure of speaking to you today about Student Council. Student Council, or STUCO, is about creating a welcoming environment and planning events that are accessible and fun for the whole student body. Right now, Student Council is in the process of electing their 2020-2021 council, and we encourage all grade 9s to apply for a variety of positions. Links to the application process have been shared with students through their face-to-face classes. You can also find the information in the Parent Guardian Bulletin or on our STUCO Instagram page.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Clark. Good morning, everyone. It is great to have you with us this morning. My name is Nazi Rayhani, and I would like to talk to you about the guidance department in our school and the services we offer. May I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So I would like to first introduce you to our guidance team. Other than the classroom teachers in subject-specific departments and the administration team in the building, students have one other caring adult in school, and that is their guidance counselors. There is 5 of us supporting all of our students, and here's the list of the guidance counselors. Ms. Garfinkel is responsible for students whose last names begin with A all the way to G. Ms. Juma, also our head of the French department, supports students' last names H to KI. Mr. Petroni's Alpha is KI to R. He also coordinates many of our pathways, such as specialist high skills major and co-op program, along with the head of the co-op department. I myself am responsible for guidance and the International Baccalaureate program, and I'm responsible for students whose last names begin with S to T. Mr. Oyang, the head of our ESL department, supports students with last names U to Z. So what does this mean? It means that we are only a phone call or an email away. Students may book appointments if they would like to speak with their guidance counselors. This year, we are doing all our bookings through Teach Assist. Please have your child go on the webpage to book an appointment with us. In the new issue of Parent Bulletin that is coming out this week, we will provide information about how to book appointments with the guidance counselors. I would also like to mention at this point that if you are a parent of a student in virtual school, please note that we provide counseling and support all our students in virtual school as well. Please refer to your guidance counselor with Alpha. We would like to stay connected with all our students, whether they are in the adaptive model or in the virtual model. So when students, would you please go back to the previous slide? Thank you. When students come to guidance, students can seek advice on their course selection and timetables. Right now, all our timetables are done for semester 1, and we're going to begin to look at semester 2 timetables closer to the end of semester 1. We also provide counseling for any future post-secondary options that students would like to pursue. We also offer support for mental health and well-being of our students. It's very important to us that all of our students are taken care of, so great learning can happen in our building. And of course, we have information and we make sure that the information and the sessions that we have with our students remain confidential. May I have the next slide, please? We also provide hearing guidance, health directions, and support with community services and volunteer opportunities. For community services, the required hours for Ontario Secondary School Diploma are 40 hours. That's the minimum. There is no maximum. Students may receive a recognition award for the highest number of hours achieved over the career of high school years that they are here with us. I will speak to you about the IB program later on and the 40 hours that must be completed by the end of grade 10. For our volunteer services, students may either drop by guidance. There is a board outside of the guidance department that they can visit, or they can go to our website and our Google Classroom to check the volunteer opportunities. Next slide, please. So here, please let your children know to join the volunteer opportunities that we have. The classroom is called AMHS, Volunteer Opportunities 2020-2021, and the class code is indicated. We hope that our grade 9 students have a great time with us here and get involved with many wonderful events and opportunities that we have in our school. Thank you for listening. And now I would like to turn it over to the head of the Special Education Department.
Thanks, Nazi, and hi, everybody. My name is John Shep. I am the Special Education Head here at Alexander Mackenzie High School. Special ed is for students with an identification, whether a learning disability or autism, giftedness, and a variety of other identifications and exceptionalities. We in the department, we have a wonderful team comprised of learning strategies classes for students from grades 9 through 12. And those are taught by our certs. You can see the list on the left. We also have a great junior and senior intensive classes for students with higher needs taught by Celia Clark and Shannon Crawford. And then also a ASD classroom for students with autism. Now, through our staff, we're able to support students in every area of the school, whether it's in a resource room, face-to-face classes, or now with the new, our new blended learning model, we're also interacting with students online to support their online classes. And so we're really trying to be adaptive, trying to be flexible to really support the needs of the students that we have under our care. Now, any student with an IEP is assigned a special education resource teacher. And it's a little tough to explain, but we're kind of like an extra guidance counselor for students with exceptionalities. And our role spans a wide range of support. So not only in where we support students, but also how. We can be doing academic support, absolutely, but also things like supporting pathways, role modeling, developing self-esteem, personal management, whether it's organization, concentration. And it also includes identifying students who might be struggling in their classes, who aren't necessarily identified, but may benefit from having an IEP. And so if your child is either identified, and our certs will be reaching out this week to say hi, to introduce ourselves, but also if your son or daughter, or if your child doesn't have an IEP, but you're realizing that whether it's because of processing or some learning issues, that they may benefit from having a conversation with us, absolutely reach out. We are 100% here to help. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And I will turn it over to our library learning commons.
Thank you. So our library learning commons is a wonderful area for students to be able to access. And this year is, again, a little bit different. Students are not able to physically access the library learning commons at this time, but we did want to bring to your attention that we have a robust virtual library that students are able to access to assist them with their schoolwork, things such as research for different projects and many other things. Linked in this presentation, and this will also be sent out in the Parent Guardian Bulletin this week, is accessing virtual resources. This includes username and password information for many different sites, many different academic research journals that students can use to assist them. If a student does need help completing a project, then they can reach out to Ms. Rhea, who is our teacher librarian, and she's very, very able and willing to help students to be successful with their projects. We're going to take a few moments and talk about some of our specialized programs now, and I will turn it over to Ms. Clark to talk about Arts Mackenzie.
Thank you so much. Hello again. I now have the pleasure of speaking about the Arts Mackenzie program with you today. Arts Mackenzie is one of the 4 specialized arts programs offered by York Region District School Board. The aim of the Arts Mackenzie program is to give students an enriched artistic and academic experience. Over the course of our 4-year program, students may study in the following disciplines: dance, music. At Arts Mackenzie, we offer 3 streams in music: instrumental, strings, and vocal. We also offer theater arts and visual arts. While working towards the Ontario Secondary School Diploma and York Region District School Board Specialized Arts Certificate, Arts Mackenzie students explore their artistic passions while learning important academic and life skills through an inquiry-based curriculum. And I have to say to our grade 9 Arts Mackenzie parents and guardians, we are inspired daily by the dedication and creativity our current grade 9s are bringing to our face-to-face and virtual studio environments. Entry to the program is by audition, a process that starts in October for grade 8 and grade 9 students. We encourage any grade 9 student who is interested in joining the program to audition in January 2021. We invite the AMHS community to join us on social media for announcements, highlights from our studio environments, and celebration of student work. So there are our social media feeds there, and so please join us. So on the next slide, here we go. Here are some emails if you would like to reach out to learn more about the program. For discipline-specific questions, we ask that you email your discipline's department head. Information about auditioning for joining the program in 2021 will be released on our website shortly. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time today. Be well, stay safe, and keep creating.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. And I'll now pass it over to Ms. Rehani to talk about the International Baccalaureate program.
Thank you, Ms. Pretty, and thank you, Ms. Clark. That was a very nice presentation on arts. We are one of the 5 IB schools in York Region District School Board that offers the IB Diploma program, but Alexander Mackenzie High School is the only school in the board that has the IB program and the arts program. So we are very, very special. So what we have for the IB Diploma program is we do the intake in the fall of grade 8. When students are grade 8, they go through the intake process, and then the following September, they will be sitting with us for an pre-IB courses. So we have the preparatory program for IB in grades 9 and 10, where students complete all the pre-IB courses that they need in order to enter the diploma program. The diploma program starts in grade 11 and ends in grade 12. We have 2 years of anticipation year and diploma year for students to finish the subjects, write the IB exams, and along with the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, receive an IB diploma as well. So the IB groups and subjects that we have offering here at Alexander Mackenzie are as follows. In Group 1, English and Literature, Language and Literature, we offer English. In Group 2, which is Language Acquisition, we offer French. In Group 3, Individuals and Societies, we offer History. Then we offer Math and Sciences that include Biology, Chemistry, and Physics. And in the last group, in the Arts group, we currently offer Music and Theater. Other than the subject-specific courses, the reason why IB is so different than all the other programs is because the core of IB focuses on 3 important aspects to make students very well rounded. One is the extended essay that students are going to start writing beginning of grade 11, and they're going to finish writing it in grade 12. So they have a whole year of writing this essay, and they're going to get a lot of mentoring from a teacher who will be staying with them until this essay is completed. Students also take a course along with the other subject-specific courses that they take. They also take a theory of knowledge course, and students get involved in many community services. So for the students who are in the IB program, they also have to do 40 hours of community service, but the 40 hours must be completed by the end of grade 10. So when students enter the anticipation year of the IB diploma program, they can focus on CAS, which is creativity, activity, and service. I will be running many information sessions on each aspect of the IB diploma program starting in grade 9. For grade 9 students, there will be 1 IB information session once per month. In the past, we had those sessions face-to-face in the library, and parents always ask, how can I join? But now the best thing is we are going virtual for all our IB information sessions. So if you would like to join your child and be part of the information session, you are absolutely welcome to do so. May I have the next slide, please? So we run Google Classrooms for every single cohort. This cohort is the graduating class of 2024. We just dedicated 1 classroom to them. It is called the Grade 9 IB Class of 2024. Please have your child enter this classroom. The class code is indicated here. And if your child forgets to enter, we are going to make sure that they are joined, because I work closely with the IB Council. And the presidents and the vice presidents of the IB Council are going to make sure that every student is part of that. I communicate a lot with students that way. So there will be the IB information series happening once per month for grade 9 students. If you have any questions regarding the IB preparatory program or the actual diploma program, please do not hesitate to contact me. My email is nazila.rayhani@yrdsb.ca, and my extension is 421. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rayhani. Before we move on to our question and answer period, we wanted to bring to the attention of all our grade 9 families that we do have an Alexander Mackenzie School Council, and we encourage everyone to come out and join School Council. This is a wonderful way to stay connected with the school, to have your voice heard, and to hear about what's going on at Alexander Mackenzie. Our next school council meeting is on Monday, October 19th at 7:15 p.m. Our meetings at this point in time are done virtually, so we will be sending out a link to that meeting. If you do have any questions about school council, please feel free to reach out to either myself, Mr. Ellenis, or Ms. Pummel. Also, please note that if you are not able to attend school council, that you can access the minutes for every meeting on our school website. Okay, we're now going to turn to the question and answer period. When we sent the link to this presentation, there was a form that was included there where you could ask any questions. We will do our best to answer those questions for you. Mr. Ellenis, would you like to get us started? Okay, I'm going to get us started with, we had a question. My child sometimes has a virtual class on the days she is home from school. Which days will she have virtual meets or classes, and which days will she not when she's at home? Students come to school for face-to-face time every other day, dependent on their cohort. And during the opposite day, when they are at home for that 2.5-hour block in the morning, students will have online work that they will need to be doing for their that goes along with their face-to-face class. That class will have an opportunity for asynchronous learning. There may also be portions that have an opportunity for synchronous learning, and the teacher will have communicated that with students through their online platform. All online classes have are synchronous, so students will need to log on there. Most likely there is a Google Meet that students will be participating in, but the individual classroom teacher will communicate that with students so that they know where they need to be. If you do have questions about individual classes, I encourage you to reach out to your child's teacher or to have your child speak with the teacher for any clarification on that.
We also have a question regarding a breakdown of how long each cycle is for the 2.5 hours of classes. We covered this in one of the slides early on in the presentation with the rotation. We will continue, as we mentioned earlier, to put the information regarding rotations in our parent bulletin. Students will also be given, we're going to start putting up signage in classrooms regarding the rotations. And we'll also be communicating this through announcements to students. So please pay attention to that. And again, if you're not getting communication from the parent bulletin or through our Alex Mack email blast, please let us know and we'll get that corrected. Also, just to note, this presentation is being recorded currently. We are aware that some families have not been able to access it or access the link. Once this presentation is done, we will capture the recording and we will send it out through an email blast. So please stay tuned for that.
Thank you. We had another question about the homework workload being assigned to grade 9 students. Concerned that there is significant workload when we look at all 4 courses. So I think what we need to consider is the type of homework that is being assigned to students. So there's different types of homework around pre-learning, where teachers may be asking students to read something in advance in order to prepare for the lesson the next day. Homework that allows a teacher to check for a student's understanding so that they can best support the student, as well as study homework, which is students preparing for an evaluation or completing a course task or completing work that was not done that was not finished in the classroom. What teachers consider when assigning homework is the amount of homework that they're providing, as well as the strengths and needs of the student, the individual and family well-being, any exceptionalities or accommodations that are needed, as well as the age and grade of the student. So we do encourage our parents or guardians to continue to speak with their child or children about any course tasks and to help your child prepare a study or homework schedule. This can be helpful for students in blocking their time because there may be multiple things that are going on at the same time. Please also know that our guidance counselors as well as course teachers can help students with time management if a student is feeling overwhelmed or is feeling that there's a lot of work on their plate. So please reach out to your classroom teachers, to our guidance department, and we are able to help with those things.
There's a question that's been asked regarding what is your process to inform us if a student, Alex Mack, tests positive for COVID-19. Ms. Pummel, would you like to address this particular question?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thankfully, we do not have any positive cases at Alex Mack at this point. However, should there be a positive case reported to us through public health, we would be sending notification to all families that there is a positive case. Individuals who may be in close contact with the person who has tested positive would be contacted directly by public health. Thank you.
There's a question here on bullying policy, the Caring and Safe Schools presentation. It says teachers and administration to abdicate our experience has been that bully statements by the school allow teachers and administration to abdicate their roles to prevent bullying. I apologize that this has been your experience, but I can assure you, or we can assure you, that bullying is taken very seriously. We realize the impact that bullying can have on students, and there are a variety of things that we do to address bullying. Again, first of all, we have to identify it as bullying, so we investigate the situation. And then what we do is, the first thing we always try to do is seek to understand the situation, but also repair relationships through restorative conversations, so that some people might not, or some students or individuals might not necessarily be aware of the impact of their actions. And what we do in these situations is allow or try to help those individuals understand the impact of their actions by giving everyone a voice. And we also come to the understanding that, after these conversations, these restorative conversations, these kinds of things need to stop. And should they continue, that's when consequences again escalate to that progressive discipline model. But there is no, I've never, in our experience, this isn't something we do. We do not abdicate our responsibilities as teachers and administrators. In fact, we embrace our responsibilities as teachers and administrators, because it is our responsibility to do everything that we can to keep students safe, and to have and to maintain and encourage a safe and supportive learning environment. And in my experience here in this building, typically when it comes to this, we've always had good outcomes, because there is a team approach to it, right? We bring in as many people that have been affected by it, and also pull in multiple levels of support, whether it be guidance, student success, administration, teachers, parents. I mean, it really is, it takes a village, and that's how we approach these sorts of things. And the outcomes are always positive, and we always explain the why behind it. And one of the things that, in order to do that, is we listen and respond accordingly. In terms of running school clubs, at the moment right now, we've put it on, clubs are on pause. Should existing clubs wish to continue, it needs to be run virtually, and the staff advisor should be there. However, again, we're still awaiting direction on running extracurricular activities. But at the moment, should a student wish to create a new club, they're more than welcome to submit a proposal, which is in the main office, and we'll keep that on record. And once we get more direction on the running of clubs, then we will communicate that to both our student and parent community.
We've also had a question, a parent or guardian trying to reach out to a teacher and is having some difficulty doing that. Teachers will get back to you and want to communicate with you about your children in order to best support them. If you're having difficulty reaching a teacher or other support worker within the building, please feel free to contact myself or Mr. Ellenis, and we can help to make sure that that contact is made.
With respect to, there was a question here on reports of homophobic harassment. We are aware, yes, this is a chargeable offense as a hate crime. So what ends up happening is when we have the report, for whatever it be, but in this case, homophobic harassment, we investigate, we seek to understand, and we do connect with police. Now, we do have in our school and other schools as well, what's called a school resource officer. And this is a uniformed officer who works with the school and really sometimes is the face of the police to speak with kids and to educate kids. However, whether we call our school resource officer or actually report, it really depends on the situation itself. This is why we seek to understand, right? So know that we respond accordingly. It is always a measured response. We do not under-respond. We always respond accordingly. And the thing is, our response is always communicated with the victims of this type of harassment, right? So it is always a very transparent process. And again, this goes back to the whole thing about bullying is that we listen, we process it as a team. And the thing is, our next steps are always communicated with those involved so that, you know, should there be any questions and concerns before we proceed, we allow that perspective to come out and we dialogue it. So should there be a hate crime, we do connect with the police. We do connect with the police based on anything that is reported that requires police involvement.
Okay, thank you so much. We would like to say thank you to all of our teachers and staff who have participated in this presentation, in putting it together and answering questions and providing valuable information to our parent guardian community. And thank you to all of our parents and guardians for joining us today. Again, we will be posting this or sending this out by email to our grade 9 families. If you do have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach us at our general Alexander Mackenzie web email address, or to contact Ms. Pummel, Mr. Ellenis, or myself directly, and we will get back to you. Have a wonderful day.